Mockery, is it? Oh, that's cute. Like I don't deal with that on a daily basis in the oil field. Cute. Let's go. And excise. None of this is tax advice for any of the viewers that want to watch and try to be malicious. If you want to be malicious, join the government. Ha! That's a joke. Anyway, an excise tax is considered a type of income tax on in certain contexts. An excise tax is typically a tax on specific goods, services, or activities. It is usually indirect, meaning it's imposed on producers or sellers, but the cost is often passed on to consumers. Now, income tax is a direct tax on an individual or entity's earnings, profits, or income. And income, we have established already, is capital gains. So let's look at earnings or profits. Now, there's an overlap here. Revenue as income, if a business is subject to an excise tax, for example, a tax on revenue generated from certain activities, the tax reduces their earnings. Governments may classify certain excise taxes as taxes on gross receipts or income if tied to revenue generation rather than consumption. So direct versus indirect taxation, excise taxes may indirectly tax income when the costs of these taxes are tied to profits. So, for example, a trucking business paying fuel excise taxes could consider those taxes a cost of doing business, effectively reducing net income. So essentially, I need the government to acknowledge that I am either conducting business on the roadway 100% of the time, no matter what, and that everybody is actually just a sole proprietor, in which case then they're going to need to compensate us through the Secretary of State for all of the time ever spent driving, or acknowledge that there is actually private free conveyance upon the public roadways that is not needed to have any form of registration in the first place. And so excise taxes framed as income taxes, some legal arguments and economic perspectives assert that the excise tax on activities like earning a wage or operating a business are de facto income taxes because they target economic activity that generates income. And so essentially, by having to require the registration, that would mean that the sole proprietor needs to do that in order to conduct business on those roadways, which is a cost of doing business on the roadways. So again, we're either all sole proprietors and then need to be compensated for our activities of commercial driving because we're commercially driving everywhere, of course, right? Or there is private conveyance and then is thus exempt from ever needing to be registered in the first place. So which is it? You can't have your cake and eat it too, right? Are you going to pay me for driving 100% of the time? Or are you going to acknowledge that there is private conveyance? And are you just going to sit and call it a fee? I'm sure you are. I can't wait for your other mockery here, but I have done my best to explain it to you, and you're still probably going to mock me, so I've done my best. Bring it on, but I actually don't really give a about what you have to say or think. But I've done what I could to explain excise tax as income and why that is so. Are we all sole proprietors? Is that the big secret? Or is there is there a difference between the public and private sector? And is there private conveyance? And is public vehicular travel a matter of right? Good day.